With an Isery though, you feel me? Nah.
Nah.
They're gonna be checking. Nigga, but why I keep fucking up? Fuck, bitch.
Turn the bass up.
Man, what's good? Y'all tapping into another episode of Urban Moguls with B. Right here where we drop the most game. Before I introduce who I'm interviewing, I gotta give a couple quick shout outs. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the hat, the bucket? Man, it ain't that season, but it's my season, you feel me? We out here doing it, D-I-G-Z. But anyways, shout out to Hella Bay Clothing. You can look them up on IG under Hella Bay DZ. DZ as in D-E-E-Z-Y, or www.hellabayclothing.com. You know what I'm saying? And big shout outs to Casuals. Casual, you see the glasses? I know y'all seen the last ones, right? Right here, you can look them up on IG, Casuals Luxury Lounge, right? But anyways, let's get back into this interview. We right here with my boy, KXNZO.
What's up with it, y'all?
Yeah, so go ahead and let the people know where you from, what you do, and what's your ethnicity. I know they're gonna be tripping when they hear this.
True. I am just Mexican. I got traces of Moroccan in me. But for the most part, I be getting fucking Arabic or some type of Afghan or Middle Eastern, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm really just Mexican. But I'm out here in Tracy. Feel me? I'm trying to put on. It's kind of hard because I'm kind of like breaking the ice for people in Tracy right now because a lot of people love talking shit about Tracy. You know what I mean? But I mean, you look at all these other like Modesto and Stockton popping off right now. Yeah. We're just in the middle of everything. You know what I mean? Like everybody has to pass through Tracy eventually, bro. Right. So really, I'm not trying to do this for anything else, but.
Man, that's a good point. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, NorCal, this is considered NorCal basically, borderline, I guess. Yeah. You know, Stockton, Modesto, they taking off right now. They got the spotlight. Sacramento, they got the spotlight. Yeah. And so, why not put Tracy on the map?
Yeah, exactly.
Who else going to do it? So.
And I'm already officially the biggest artist coming out of Tracy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to jump into the music part, but were you born and raised in Tracy?
Yeah, for the most part. I was born in San Jose, but we moved right out here.
So the Sharks just in you?
Yeah, I got a lot of family in San Jose. All my family's in San Jose, actually. Yeah. So who's Mexican? Who's, what else were you getting? Just Moroccan.
Moroccan. Yeah. Who? Can you explain that parents-wise?
Yeah, the Moroccan comes from like the Spanish side of my mom. Okay. But she's from Durango, Mexico.
Right.
My dad is from Jalisco. So, I mean, really, I'm just Mexican. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because like I told you before the cameras, right? I was like, man, what's your ethnicity? But in my mind, I was like, man, he's Arabian, he's something. And as soon as you said Mexican, I was like, what? This boy tripping, he ain't Mexican.
Yeah.
And you start breaking it down a little bit. So growing up in Tracy, what was your household like? Did you have any siblings? Did you have both parents in the household?
Yeah, both parents, which I'm very thankful for. They're fighting every day, but you know what I mean? They're still together.
Yeah.
I had one older brother. For me, my older brother was so different, like growing up. Like he was all about rock, I was all about hip hop. And we're 6 years apart too. But then again, that also pushed me to grow up a lot faster because he was always older than me. And I'd say I still remember being like 6 years old in the car and they were like 12 or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or no, I was 12 and they were like 18 and I'd say something, they'd be like, that's so dumb. Like, why would you say that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like the first time that was the first time I really like thought before I said something.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's the benefit of having both parents in the household? Because, you know, there's some people who don't really have both parents and you know, they obviously they have to grow up fast and, you know, they experience, you know, trying to be a man in the house or whatnot, you know, being a protector or whatever. But you didn't really, not that it's a bad thing, it's not a bad thing at all. You know what I'm saying? You can own that, it's good. Yeah. A lot of people wish for that kind of stuff. So what was some benefits of that? You know, having both parents.
Shit, I got to see how, I guess, a successful marriage will work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what it takes to make something work like that.
And you got a lot of attention from like your dad or your mom, or who were you kind of most gravitated to?
My mom was always my best friend, I guess, growing up.
Right.
But like, she was there for me, but I always was gonna do what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Just growing up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. She was always there for me, right or wrong.
And your brother, you said you're about 6 years apart. What kind of role did he play in your life? Like, was he that big brother that would come home and beat up on you and just to make you tougher? Or was he like the, you could do anything you put your mind to type brother? Like, what was he?
I think it was more so like, we did our own thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, we never really like...
Cross paths?
Yeah.
Just at the house, just like randomly just run into each other?
Yeah.
Alright. What's some kind of, I don't want to say adversity, you know what I mean? That's a big word, obviously. But what's some like downfalls or some experiences that you had to face growing up? You know, because Tracy, it ain't too big, it's growing. Population is growing for sure. You know, it's known not really to be so, you know, poverty around and stuff like that. But, you know, every household is different and everybody has different experiences, whether it's physically, mentally. There's always something that people go through.
I think for me, it was more of when I was really young, I got hooked on fucking Adderall.
Adderall?
Yeah.
At what age?
Like since I was like 12. I was taking Adderall. 10, 12.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, you obviously you either had it because, you know what I'm saying, you were being a distributor to put it properly, or just someone had it and you're like, oh, I'll try it because you're trying it.
I had ADHD.
Oh.
Really bad. So like I actually got it prescribed to me.
Crazy.
But then I was prescribed like the highest dose.
Yeah.
Which I shouldn't have been prescribed that amount.
At 12 years old?
Yeah, 12 years old. So like I was taking 30s at fucking 12 years old.
Like Curry. Curry.
Bro, you give like a full grown man at 30, like he'll be geeking, you know what I mean? Like, and I just remember like being 12 years old, like laying in my bed, like why can't I go to sleep right now?
Yeah.
And I took that shit at like 8 in the morning.
So it kind of did the opposite, right? It kind of hit you like it would hit a normal person. You know, because you know when you have ADHD or whatever, from what I know, is that it calms you down, right? And for you, it kind of did the opposite.
Yeah, no, it did calm me down in a way. Like I always used to be tapping my foot and stuff, and I kind of, because of the accelerated heart rate, I felt like I didn't have to do that, tap my foot like that. But I don't know, I think it really just wired my brain to thinking that I have to take a substance to even be able to focus.
Yeah, you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I turned 18, I stopped getting that that prescription, and I was going to the Art Institute in San Francisco, and my grades just started slipping.
The Art Institution?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were taking it from 12 to about 18?
Yep.
And so you built some kind of tolerance, obviously.
Yeah.
For the 30s.
Well, by the time I was a senior, I was taking 2 30s.
By the time you're senior year, 2 30s? Like nothing?
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. So where'd that lead to, you know?
And then it was like the instant releases, so those typically last 4 to 6 hours. So I would take 2 twice.
Damn. Instant releases?
Yeah.
What is that? For the people who don't know.
There's extended release Adderall that it like just disperses
little by little.
Yeah, that amount like throughout the day.
Yeah.
Or the instant releases that all just hit you at once.
Damn. And so after taking that for a while, obviously it was some kind of addiction, or was it like, what was it? I mean,
I really didn't understand what it was when I was in high school. You know what I mean? I didn't know.
Did it lead into other like things?
Yeah, it led into addiction later on. But for the most part, that shit, I didn't know that I was experiencing an addiction.
Yeah.
For the most
Because you're so
part.
used to it and
Yeah.
you're doing it.
And it's prescribed to me. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So, and this is what the doctor was telling me to take.
Right. So did that, I mean, because I know a lot of people who, you know, they take pills and stuff like that, whether it's prescribed to them or not, it leads into they need something stronger, and they go into, you know, different avenues and paths, and, you know, it's a spiral, you know what I mean, kind of downhill.
Yeah.
Did you have to experience that, or was it just strictly Adderall the whole time?
No, I ended up going into meth and heroin and fucking cocaine and Percocets.
Yeah.
Tough, like really bad. For like a good 5 years. I'd say like 5 years of my life was like a blur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking added, like needing it and shit like that.
Yeah. Just sustaining a high.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden just like being locked up, and then you're like, oh shit, now I'm sober.
Yeah, because you get locked up and you don't have really I mean, there's access to get it,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's costs twice as much, obviously,
Yeah.
as it would be on the streets.
If you don't have money on your books, you're fucked.
Right, right. So, how were you able to shake that? Because I know when people, they get clean, right, whether they go to jail, all the other stuff, they go to a sober home, there's a time where you're alone. There's a time where you're not in those places, and now you're in the real world, and there's always that itch, there's always that thing in the back of your mind where it's like,
Yeah.
I could go to it just like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How are you able to maneuver around that? How are you able to keep a strong mind and still doing what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Fuck, it's hard. It's like an everyday battle,
Yeah.
wanting to get high. And then you kind of just gotta remind yourself of, you gotta want this. You know what I mean? You gotta value yourself. You gotta think that you're worth not throwing away like that. You
Yeah.
gotta, like, it wasn't until I started making, the difference between my music before and my music now is you can feel my music now.
Yeah.
And you can vibe with it. You could, like we were talking about earlier, you could bob your head in the car to it. You know what I mean? Like that's really all it's about. Once I started feeling the music, then that's when I felt like, okay, I could really do this.
Right.
But before, I felt like I was just like a cool filler on a song. Like people wouldn't really listen to it for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just there.
That must be hard though, because I was gonna say, because, you know, being a rapper nowadays, you know, not saying everybody's on drugs, but a good majority are, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just, they express their feelings through music, obviously, of what they're going through and how they feel and why they do drugs, or, you know, why they got off drugs and stuff like that. Is that hard, just being around like other rappers who might be doing it, smoking, popping, or whatever, just to make themselves feel good in the moment?
Yeah, it's hard.
And that gives you that like itch, or what?
Yeah. But that's why I kind of learned to also separate myself, and I record my shit by myself, and I just, you know what I mean, I send it out, and then we do shit like separate. Plus, I don't really like being in the studio with other people. I feel more pressure too.
Yeah.
I'd rather do it on my
Why
own
is
time.
that? You feel like you have to be rushed in the studio?
Everybody works at a different pace.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like also, I kind of step into character by myself.
Yeah.
And it's not so much like that I feel pressured. It's just more so like that person could just like knock it out like that.
Yeah.
And then me, it takes a little bit more thought. But sometimes I knock it out like that too.
Yeah.
You know, so it really just depends.
All on the vibe.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump too much into the music.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for the listeners who watch my interviews already, my part ones is always about people's life, how they grew up, their experiences, their struggle.
Gotcha.
Part two is always about their success, their career, whatever they're pursuing and getting at.
Got it.
And, you know, we'll jump more into that. But, you know, you've been through quite a lot just from talking behind the cameras and all that stuff like that. Is it weird when you, like, do you ever feel some kind of way, like say you're around another artist, right, and they might be smoking, they might be drinking, they might be doing something, does it feel weird to turn them down? Or like, nah, I don't smoke, or nah, I don't do this, I don't do that.
In a
Without
sense,
them looking at you a certain way?
Yeah, kind of disrespectful, I guess.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, I still smoke. I still drink. You know? I just don't know how to turn it down with other shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, for the most part, I don't really feel that peer pressured into doing other shit. You know what I mean? I kind of learned how to just be like satisfied with just weed and alcohol again.
Within yourself.
Yeah.
So how would you say your struggle molded you? Because, like I said, you've been through a lot, right? And for some people, it makes or break you. And
I've overdosed a couple times.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Damn.
Like twice pronounced dead.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like no heartbeat?
Like resuscitated. Hit with Narcan.
Twice?
Brought back, yeah. Like if they were there probably like a couple seconds later, like I wouldn't have made it.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah. Fentanyl is no joke. Yeah.
Nowadays is fucking crazy.
That's just taking hella people out.
So is that kind of, I mean, I can't really say what molded you. How did everything mold you into, you know, the person you are today and you know, alive?
It really taught me how to appreciate everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The big things and small things. Or?
Yeah. And also like, if you're gonna do something, like you do that drug, don't let that drug like completely run your life. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so your family was there throughout the whole time, or was there any time that you feel like you were abandoned, or?
They kicked me out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they could only put up with so much.
Yeah.
And then it also got to the point where like, they felt like they were like enabling me, so we just kick them out, like, you know, I really feel it. And that's it, yeah.
Yeah, so after all the struggling, I mean, how long you been clean, if you don't mind me asking?
Shit. Almost 3 years now.
3 years.
Yep.
Feeling good, feeling great.
Yep.
You getting into music, because we won't got too much time before we jump into part 2. But to lead into part 2, I want to know how did you get into the music?
Ever since I was like a freshman, I always wrote poems and I wrote rhymes, you know what I mean? I didn't really know what to call them, really.
Right.
And then I remember I wrote this one, and it was more on some soft shit. I want to say like on some like Beza type of shit, you know what I mean?
Beza.
And these girls actually like just printed it out. They typed it up like all pretty, and they just printed it out, and it like started like a trend. And like all these girls just like had it in the front of their binder at school. And like that was the first time I actually did something, and then it like started a little trend.
Yeah.
And I just kept writing. I kept writing. I'm like, yo, these are like songs. You know what I mean? Like these are like song lyrics. And then I hated my voice.
Without the beat.
Yeah. And it's funny too, cause like I was the weakest one out of my group.
Yeah.
And I'm the best one.
Now you the best one.
Yeah.
No DJ Khaled.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah, so that's how it all got started, poems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, look, we're going to jump into part 2 in a second, man, but I want to take a quick second. Thank everybody who's been watching my interviews. We right here with KXNZO. Y'all tapping into UrbanMogulswithB. Right here, we drop the most game. Man, stay locked in with me. And if you ain't, stay locked out.